Today, what I want to do with you guys is share with you one simple question that's going to help you in your interviews deliver more content, more value, and not get kind of sucked into the esoteric, yeah, me too, very, very lazy type of interviewing that I know a lot of people do. And this is not a diss on anyone. Like, I do it too sometimes. So this question really helps me create better content for my audience while respecting my guests, right? So the question is, if I'm listening to this right now, if I'm a listener on the other side of this podcast, what do I want to hear? What do I want to learn from this guest? That's a huge question, because sometimes we get caught up in their story. We get caught up in their emotion. We get caught up in asking questions that are somewhat selfish, which are totally cool, but I think you got to balance it out. And we kind of get lost in the moment and just kind of want to connect with the guest. We forget that we're recording. Now, you do want to connect with your guest. You probably are like me, a little bit strategic, where you bring people on because you want to go deep with them and you want to develop a relationship. That's huge. I respect that. I think that's important. But I think having this question in the back of your mind is really, really helpful, and it's going to help you just create better content. So the question is, again, if I'm listening to this, and if I'm a listener, what do I want to hear, or what do I want to learn from this guest? So I will ask that question, and then I'll look at that person. I'm like, okay, well, maybe he's really big. Like, he's jacked, right? So I'll say, let's just take example, one of my clients, Troy. I'll be like, Troy, how did you go from being 195 to 250? I mean, like, what was the process like? What were the 3 biggest key turning points that helped you grow that much muscle? And then he'll say, boom, boom, boom. So it helps me, for me personally, that question helps me get very tactical. And one thing I'm really big on, guys, is actually sharing tactics and sharing things that people can actually use. Because too many times I see a lot of people on podcasts get really, really esoteric, very fuzzy, very woe is me, or not woe is me, but that's probably a bad word, but very, very untangible. And I hate untangible shit. I'm a really big believer that podcasting is good, is really good when it has entertainment and info. So infotainment. So you're learning stuff and you're enjoying the stories. So this is really more a question to ask on the tactical info side, but it's an important one. So that's it. Remember to ask yourself this when you're maybe interviewing someone. Maybe write it down on a piece of paper in front of you. And the question is, again, if I'm listening to this, what do I want to hear, or what do I want to learn from this guest?